Who here knew that? You liar. no, there's a chance you could have known this. This is the star orbited by Superman's home planet, Krypton. Now you might say, how do you know that? Let me hear that, come on.
How do you know that?
No, that was not that was like playful, like The Price is Right. How do you know that? Say it more skeptically.
How do you know that?
It's that good? It's like, how do you know that? How do I know that? Because I handed this star to DC Comics. That's how I know it, because like, I made this. This is a real star. So, it's 27 light years away. You see this not as it is now, but as it was 27 years ago. And this arose because DC Comics came up to me and said, can we show the Hayden Planetarium in one of our stories? I said, sure. They said, can we show you in one of our stories? I said, hell yeah. What am I? He said, you'll be helping Superman. And I said, that's the least I could do. I grew up in Metropolis, and he's been cool all these years, saving people in Metropolis. The least I could do is help him at the Hayden Planetarium. So I helped him, you know, so here. So what was funny was when they said, can they represent me, I said, if it makes no difference to you, could you, like, shave off a few pounds? If it doesn't make a difference. And he said, Dr. Tyson, this is the world of comics, where everybody looks good. So I'm coming out, you know, I'm there. And then some people who must not know anything about me said, wow, they gave you a really cool vest. That is my vest. In fact, I think that's on the program. Pick up the program. Is the vest visible in the program? That's that vest. Okay. So here it was. Superman was going to come to the planetarium to observe the destruction of Krypton. And I said, well, when he left Krypton, it was being destroyed. So you want him to look, you want him to see something that was in his present when he was launched from the planet. They said yes. And I said, well, all right, there's only one way that can happen. And that's through a wormhole. He could have gotten here still as an infant had he traveled close to the speed of light. He wouldn't age. Everybody else would age a normal rate. And he'd get here, because remember, he's launched Moses style in like a nest. And he lands in a nest, and he hadn't aged at all, basically. So he traversed this space, not aging. You either move at the speed of, near the speed of light, or you come through a wormhole. If you move at the speed of light, you're still behind the leading edge that contains the information that your planet was destroyed. So that by the time you get to Earth, you would have missed it. But you can sneak here by wormhole ahead of the light beam, and then the light beam is still coming towards you and hasn't reached you yet. So I said, how old is Superman? They said he's in his late 20s. I said, okay, I can work with that. And he's eternally in the late 20s, like the Peanuts kids. You know, they're just the same age. Everything else changes around them. Superman is in his late 20s. I said, why don't I find you a star that would, because they weren't thinking this way. I said, I'll find you a star in the late 20s in light years away. They said, fine. So I looked at all the catalogs. Found LHS 2540. It's a red star. So is Superman's home star. It's red. It's 27 light years away. They loved it. It was also in the constellation. There are 88 of them in the sky. You will never forget that number because that's how many keys there are on a piano.
88 miles an hour.
Keys on a piano make music. 88 constellations in the sky make a freaking zoo. Okay? They're like centaurs and creature, stuff. They must have been opium-induced when they laid out these constellations. You know what? I want to update the constellations, like have the Prius, you know, an ice cream cone, conus major, conus minor, the smartphone. I want stuff that matters to us. Scorpions, stuff. Anyhow, where was I before I distracted myself? Oh, it's in a constellation called Corvus, the crow. Do you know that in Smallville, Superman's high school mascot was the crow? So we nailed this one. We got this one good. So he comes to the planetarium, and I allow him to see Krypton in its final throes. And he'd be coming every year, not knowing exactly when it would happen, but this was the moment. And then he comes, he sees it explode. And while he, of course, knew it had exploded his whole life, he'd never actually seen it. So this was a very tender moment for him. And in fact, the very last panel, which I'm not showing here, his head is kind of bowed and he looks melancholy. And someone said, Superman needs a hug. Wow, you know, Superman has never needed a hug, but that was surely the moment where you want to hug Superman. So I was honored to be in the comic. The point of this is to say that that star was 27 light years away, and we're now seeing things that happened there 27 years ago, including the destruction of Krypton. Here's a ball of a gas cloud. This is 8,000 light years away. You see this not as it is, but as it was 8,000 years ago. And here's a part of our galaxy near the center. This is 25,000 light years away, revealing countless stars. Countless stars. Go to one of our nearest galaxies, Andromeda. The speckle of stars across the field of view, they're sitting on our nose. We are the Milky Way, and those are Milky Way stars. We're looking through those stars out to the universe. We see another galaxy just like ours. That spiral thingy contains hundreds of billions of stars in and of itself, just the way we contain 100 billion stars. We see that as it was 2 million years ago. It's 2 million light years away. This is the time machine at work. Here's another galaxy. It's called M100, Messier 100. That's its catalog name. This is 65 million light years away. What are they seeing now if they're looking at Earth?
Dinosaurs.
They're watching the dinosaurs go extinct. The information about the extinction of dinosaurs left Earth 65 million years ago is only just now reaching that galaxy. If they had super duper telescopes and looked down on Earth, they would see the asteroids striking the Yucatan Peninsula in what is now Mexico, and they would see the extinction of not only the reign of the dinosaurs, but with 70% of all species of life on Earth. 65 million years. This is the farthest image of anything that exists. It is the famous cosmic microwave background. It is the universe when it was a mere 400,000 years old. Nothing is formed yet. There's no galaxies, stars, planets, people. It is just slightly hot and slightly cold areas represented by changes in color. And the slightly cold areas later on collapse to form galaxies and black holes and stars and people. So because of this time delay of light, we can see back in time across the universe, and that enables there to be such a field as cosmology. Without it, we'd be seeing everything in the present without any access to the past. Here's one. The universe is big, which we just established. Molecules are small.